I guess when we talk about self-care, it can mean many different things to many people, right? But for me, what I often find helpful in terms of self-care is really being able to do meaningful things regardless of how you feel. So it could look like, spending time with my loved ones, or spending time with my friends, eating my favorite food, or just kind of like relaxing and resting at home. One of the important things to know when it comes to self-care, I would say three things, right? First is mindfulness, right? Our ability to stay present and stay grounded. And it could mean many things too, right? It could mean, just reconnecting with my body, trying to kind of like find ways to ground myself by, going for a walk or doing a nature hike. So that is an example of mindfulness. Second is self-soothing strategies, right? So it can look like simply as, giving yourself a butterfly hug, or asking your friend or trusted friend or a loved one for a hug, or petting a dog, or, having a pet or playing with your pet. So that's one strategy that I find useful as a mental health practitioner too. Another one is nourishing your body, right? So sometimes, especially, eating your favorite Filipino food or snack, which is very important, kind of like reconnecting with our roots and also grounding ourselves at the same time. And lastly, in terms of self-care, self-compassion is also important. I guess as a culture, self-compassion is not something that we usually practice. So what self-compassion means is showing the same kindness that we show to our friends and community, showing the same kindness to yourself. So it's like imagining yourself, giving yourself a warm hug, or, kind of like a warm blanket wherein you feel kind of like calm, and actually telling yourself that it's going to be okay, that you are safe and everything's going to be fine. Another, I guess, important thing with self-compassion is our connectedness, or sense of connectedness, knowing that you are not alone and knowing that this experience are fairly common to many people, right? Anxiety and issues around self-esteem is something that many people experience. So the value of staying connected and feeling connected is also important. And lastly, again, mindfulness, right? Our ability to stay present and engage in things that's meaningful for us, regardless of how we feel or what we're thinking. As a social worker, as a career, it's very meaningful, right? But oftentimes you would say, oh, it's not for everyone, because we're actually dealing with, other people's issues and problems. But for myself, it is really about the value of being able to give back to the community. I think this is important for me, say for example, as a Filipino-Canadian, when I was new in Toronto, the community has embraced me, right? So part of my interest and intentions of getting into social work program is to actually show and share the same generosity that I have received from the community when I was a newcomer, right? In terms of psychotherapy, when you get into social work, there are a lot of fields that you can specialize in. If you wanted to do mental health and counseling, then there is a specialization for mental health in social work that would allow you to practice, as a psychotherapist. I mean, again, as a psychotherapist, or again, in terms of mental health, right, preventative is always better, right? So again, as I mentioned a while ago, you don't necessarily have to have clinical diagnosis of mental health illness to actually ask for help. So it's important that, whenever you're feeling sad or low, one is really about acknowledging that you are experiencing those sadness. Two is reconnecting with your body or your senses, or reconnecting with the people you value or it's important for you. And then three is really seek support, right? Like, again, sometimes in Filipino culture, we are so used to, hearing that, oh, it's gonna be fine, you can just snap out of it, you just go to the mall, watch movie, and everything is fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But it also takes away, the fact that people can be really or struggle, right? And sometimes with those things that we hear around us in terms of, just snap out of it, it also takes away our ability to actually seek further support professionally. So again, if you have any questions, right, like there are a lot of Filipino psychotherapies already in Ontario. I think it's a growing practice too, especially if you're looking for Tagalog speaking or culturally informed psychotherapists. You can find a lot of folks. Hope Leads Mental Health Care is one of them, but there are a bunch of Filipino psychotherapists already working in the community. So if you need a Tagalog speaking, it's fairly easy to find a Filipino psychotherapist. Although there's not a lot of us, but you can definitely find us. If you wanted to learn more or if you have questions, you can always visit our website at www.hopeleads.ca. Hope Leads Mental Health Care provides individual counseling. We do group psychotherapy too. We do a lot of workshops and trainings. So yeah, if you have questions, you can write to us and visit our website at www.hopeleads.ca.
That's it for today's episode. We'll see you next time.